morning, yellow lines passing through. And I don't know where I'm going, but I know what I'm telling you. Oh, wherever you may go, walk the open
Well, I first started at Texaco on the next corner, south, in this same block in 1946 when I come out of the service. And I stayed there almost 10 years. And then I moved here in 1955. I noticed a big change in being on 66. At that time, this street was all paved with brick, you know. And when I moved down here, it was still brick in 1955. But I can remember you would stand out on the curb and maybe you wouldn't see a car go by here in 10 minutes. Now it takes you 10 minutes to get across the street. Well, in 57, I used to have a phone booth out here on the corner, and a little kid come in here and he said, could you tell me how I could get a hold of a doctor? And I said, well, we can look in the phone book and find. I said, who do you want? He said, anybody. And I said, well, what's the matter? He said, well, my mother's across the street in the back of that station wagon, and she's real sick. And I said, well, what's the matter with your mom? And he said, I really don't know, but then the kid's father told me, he said, she's going to have a baby. And I thought, well, this is kind of a different experience for me, you know. So she did. She had the baby right out there where that phone booth was. But I used to get different people. I had a plumber here one time. He wanted to pawn all of his plumbing tools to me for $20 worth of gas, you know. So I done that, and to this day I still have his plumbing tools. Don't know where he's at. Well, I first started with a Texaco pump, because that was my first love, you know. Texaco was the one that started me. And I had a fellow that wanted to buy a top for his father-in-law for his birthday. And he said, but I don't have any money. And I said, buddy, you're in the wrong place. He said, but I do have something you might want. He said, I got a gas pump. And I said, well, I don't really need a gas pump. I got some outside that I use. And he said, no, this is just for show. And I said, well, what kind of pump is it? He said, I'll make it any way you want, whatever you want. And I said, well, how about a Texaco pump? He said, I can do that. So he done it, and I put it on a caster. Then people got to asking me about how much did that pump cost, you know, and I told them I traded for it. So then I got another pump, and then another one, and then I got a few of mine. And that's how I started the museum. And then I kept adding stuff. And for the first 5 years, I let everybody in for nothing. But they had to sign the book, you know. And I still have that book, and probably 20 more that are full from people all over the world. So I would probably say that I've shaken hands with more people from more countries than anybody that ever run for president.